We are finally reaching into the two last steps of the process. This video is about tangible prototypes and evaluation to propose next steps. In this course, you don't have to fully develop a functional prototype. Developing a mock-up or a code as a proof of concept is enough. We do want you to think about how the mock-up could work if it was developed into a fully functional prototype and to consider the impact and implications of your product. Moreover, we expect you to evaluate your product based on some key questions and to improve it based on the evaluation of these outcomes. Yet to develop a functional prototype, you start by developing alternative prototypes of the product ideas that you prioritize as essential in the step 3. As such, prototyping is a practice of building quick and rough study models to learn about the desirability, feasibility, and viability of alternative value propositions to define product requirements. When prototyping, please keep in mind the following principles. Make it visual and tangible. Think like a beginner. Stay flexible. Start simple and iterate. So it actually means that you share early the prototypes that you have and you also collect feedback. That may imply that you will fail, but you will certainly fail fast and learn cheap. You will also stay creative by prototyping unlikely ideas. These prototypes will actually spark discussion and may lead you to unexpected requirements, yet useful. Finally, it's important that you track the insights of the whole process so that you can actually learn and formulate action points. Every student in the group make prototype sketches to spark discussions with each other, with other groups, with the teaching team, and the case owner. That is the reason of our working lectures. Sketches are a cheap way of making ideas tangible and shareable. You can accompany the sketches with details into how idea works or could be implemented, but be aware of not getting hung into the details. The roughness is deliberately so that you can actually discard some of the ideas. The best sketches contains only one essential product idea about how it would work. It can be later accompanied by the text, but yet keep things simple enough to get in a glance, and for a more refined prototypes, they will come later. Ensure that you can pitch every sketch in maximum 30 seconds, so that if you need more than that, you will probably need a separate sketch. This is a prototype example of how a sustainability advisor can choose a neighborhood to view all indicators. They can choose an indicator and compare how different neighborhoods perform. They can view all neighborhoods that rank into a top percentage for a given indicator, among many others. Other mockups in the energy poverty exercise show the list of indicators and their specifications. They also give an overview per neighborhood with the 5 indicators below the 10% of the average, and they list the guiding policies. These were some of the ideas that the students in the example that we have considered throughout the video developed. For evaluating the prototypes, they make some testing cards in which they put together the hypotheses that they had. They suggest a testing approach, they define a metric, and set some success criteria. Finally, in the learning cards, they track the insights for each of the above. They list actions that they can take based on the learning, and based on this evaluation, they can make suggestions about how to improve the product, which shows the iterative nature of the product design and development. In this case, evaluation is crucial and is not always quantitative. It can start from qualitative insights. These videos provided insight into the stages that you go through when designing and developing a product. For the overall process, think about the role that you can take in your group. You can alternate the role on every step so that you can learn from each other. You can, for example, be a data detective, the interviewer, the observer, or the one bringing together all the ideas into prototypes that you can actually share. You simply need to discuss and agree on the role everyone will take for each step. In the next videos, we will explain other aspects to consider in the overall process, such as comparative studies, user evaluation, product data, and data management. So you can look at these videos as many times as needed, and you can also look into references available for wider thinking. We hope you will enjoy the process and the rest of the course.